just making this video to help train you on the ins and outs of your bike, how to ride it, how to take care of it, and how to make sure that she's going to get you years into the future. So we're going to start off with the most important thing on the bike is the key. The key here has 3 buttons. You have a lock button, unlock, and remote start. The lock is very self-explanatory. You press it, the alarm turns on. It's a very sensitive alarm, so as you lock your bike on the sidewalk, if someone is to sit on it, maybe jostle it at all, it'll go off and make a whole lot of noise. If someone is to try to walk away with your bike, it will actually begin driving in reverse. So there's kind of fun feature number 1 about these bikes. They will fight against a criminal and just make a whole lot of a scene to draw attention. So that is the alarm. You press the unlock button once to disarm the arm. And then the third button here, the remote start, is a very interesting feature. It allows you to long press it twice. So you hold it, let go, press it again, and the bike starts just like that. That is a decently useful feature if you want to keep the key in your pocket, for instance. But most importantly, it's very essential for showing your friends the bike. Someone who's never ridden a motorcycle or maybe even a bicycle before, although I would not recommend that they try a Beachman before a bicycle. If you want to allow them to have a safer test driving experience once they've got their helmet on and they're ready to go, you can remote start the bike for them. And then if you think that they might be getting out of control or they might get into a collision with the bike, you can disarm the bike by pressing the unlock, shutting the power off, and meaning that they will roll to a gentle stop instead of continuing on the potentially dangerous path. It's a really good way to show people your bike, especially the first time, because electric is definitely a little different, even if for people who have ridden something like a moped or a Vespa before, as the acceleration is just a little more instant on this than it is with a gas bike. Last thing about the key, this one has been boondoggled by one of our customers, but you will have 2 keys. Remember, before taking it out and riding it, split the keys up and put a spare set away in a dresser in case you lose them. We also recommend getting something like a tile or the Apple tracker to keep on your keys and make sure that you don't lose them. And it's also great to put one on your bike. So moving from front to back, we'll start by putting the key in here and turning on the heads-up display. When it first boots up, you'll see your total mileage. So this bike has 1,375 kilometers. This guy loves to ride. His bike is in our shop for servicing, if you're wondering why we're using his. After a few seconds, it'll reset to your trip odometer. So now you can see we're at 0. That'll count up as you're riding around throughout the day. You've got a battery gauge. Obviously, this bike is at full power, a speedometer, and a temperature gauge as well. Now, on the handlebars, we have several important buttons. The most important being right here, the kill switch. You always want to make sure that this is in the X position when you're not riding, that upper position. You'll know that it's working if on the back here, you see the light is flashing like a hazard. This means that when you pull the throttle, the bike does not go anywhere, which is very, very important because for a dead silent vehicle, it's very easy to forget that it's been turned on. Or if one of your friends happens to get on it and they try playing with the throttle, they might suddenly shoot off when they're not expecting to. So make sure you keep this button turned on. When you're ready to ride, you flick it down. On the gray switch here, we have the headlights. So there's an off, a ring light position in the middle, and then a full beam in the very left. We usually use the ring light as the daytime runner, and we'll show you now an example at the front of the bike. There's the ring. Here is off all the way to the right, ring in the middle, and on the left. And then on your left handlebar, this gray button right here on your left thumb is the high and low beam. So as you press it, you'll see in the front, turns on, turns off. The very bottom on both handlebars is this fun red button right here and right here. This is the horn, and it is very loud. It is car volume, not pedestrian volume, and that is a safety feature. The last and one of the most important buttons on your left handlebar here is the signal. You press it left to signal left, go right to signal right. You'll feel a click and you will see on your heads-up display a signal light is going for right and left. As well, you'll see in the front, here we're signaling left, signaling right, and there are also signals located on the back of the bike. You'll see there and here. Now, to turn the signal off, you must press the white button here. You click it in and it stops. Unlike a car, the signals on a Beachman do not turn themselves off, so you'll need to press that button. So just make it a habit to press it, because sometimes you'll be riding around and signaling left for a few minutes without remembering that you didn't turn it off. The throttle, as I've demonstrated before, is here on your right hand. So generally you'd be grabbing it like this, and you get to feather it here to choose how fast you want to go. Your right hand has access to your most important brake, which is your front brake. On a motorcycle, you use the opposite brake from a bicycle. And on your left hand here, you have access to your rear brake. Our brakes are hydraulic disc brakes. They're made for motorcycles. They're very powerful. Here's your rear brake calipers on the right side, and on the front side, your front brake is on the left. The stopping is quite dramatic the first time. I suggest when you take one of your first rides, get up to a gentle speed, maybe 15 kilometers an hour, and try slamming both brakes so you understand the full braking potential of the bike. That way, when you're in a situation later on where you're going to need to slam on those brakes, you'll know what to expect, because our stopping distance is very short, and we did that for a reason. That reason is safety, of course. So moving on from the handlebars up front, we have mirrors, of course. You can adjust them, and we will create a separate video on how to install and tighten your mirrors should they come loose, as that is something that does occasionally happen with this style of mirror. It's just part of the way it's designed, that as it rotates, sometimes it can loosen itself. Don't worry, we include the tool for you. It's very easy to tighten. You have a gas tank up front here. It's mostly just structural. It allows you to grip with your legs and completes the beautiful look of the bike. Your seat here, you will have a black seat, of course, for the neutral bikes, but we also do offer brown seats. If you ever want to change the look of your bike, just send us a message. We will be offering different tank and seat colors next summer to allow people to change up the look. Down here is not an engine. This is the battery and control unit enclosure. So you have up top here the control, and the bottom is in the battery. I'm going to show you how to change the battery right now and how to charge it. So, taking the key out, we're going to show you the second function of the key itself after the ignition, which is opening the battery enclosure. You can go like this, open it up, and the battery just swings open easily. Now, before you pull out the battery with this handle, you need to remember to grab the cord and get it free. Otherwise, it can become stuck. You then pull the battery loose. You unplug the cord, and you can remove it just like that. The battery is 30 pounds of lithium, so it is decently heavy if you have to go up a lot of stairs, but that's because we've given you quite a bit of range on this bike. And then reinstalling it is just as simple. You're going to plug it back in. There's no trick to this, it's just a push. Then you're going to insert it. Make sure the cord is free, push it all the way back in, tuck it in, and close it up, just like that. And now, one thing I will show you as well is when you do take your battery out, you can charge it directly in your condo, for instance, using this charging interface. That's how a lot of our riders charge, especially living in an urban environment where you may only be able to get your bike as far as your parking garage, and then you're going to need to get the battery all the way into your house. If you do have the ability to charge your bike, let's say you have a garage, or you're able to bring it inside of your home, or have charging available in your parking garage, there's a second charging interface on the far side of the bike, located right here, and that allows you to plug in using the same piece of the charger. I'll go through the foot pieces now. Down here, you have a footrest. You have a kickstand that is a side stand. It goes down and up like this. You have a mid stand here that allows you to hold the bike in a perfectly upright position. You have your pedals as well, and I'll show you here. They do work, and they work quite well. And we have your passenger foot peg. So if you have someone riding on the back with you, you're going to use this to give them somewhere to put their feet. This bar here at the rear of your seat is going to allow you to get a good grip on your bike when you're putting it up on the stand. So I'll give you an example of that right now. You roll the bike forward to get it off of the middle stand. You plant your left foot, grab it like this, and pull it towards you like a tug of war. That allows you to easily roll it up onto the stand and get it into a planted position. Finally, at the rear, you have a bicycle chain, and this right here is the motor of the bike. It is a brushless motor. It's a very, very simple design. Should last for as long as this bike possibly could. And at the very rear here, you've got your brake light, and that is pretty much every part of your Beachman. We're outside now, so I'm going to go through securing your bike, locking it, the helmet, of course, doing a little safety inspection before you ride, and then taking your first ride. So, right now, I've got the bike parked up, and we'll begin by showing you what to do when you arrive at your destination. Your first step is going to be to turn the steering wheel all the way to the left. You're going to go in here to our steering lock with your key, turn it around, adjust it, wiggle it if you need to, and then pull it out. And now you'll see that the steering is locked. It means that you can't turn it, so if someone does try to walk away with your bike, it's just going to go in circles. This is a standard motorcycle safety feature, and it's step one in preventing theft. Step two, of course, is the alarm. It's armed, so now if someone tries to get your bike, they're going to have to get through this everlasting circle and the alarm system. I'm now going to disarm it, take the key, unlock the steering lock, and then you're free to go and get on your bike. Now, we'll talk about doing a little safety inspection. Every week or two, you're going to want to pump up your tires. It's very easy to do. It uses a standard bicycle tire pump. As you can see, just like any other bike, you just unscrew this and then take your bicycle pump, put it on that nozzle, and you pump the tires up to 32 psi. If you're not sure about the psi, it's written on the tires, and that's really all you need to remember about the tires, is to keep them pumped up. Now, secondly, always make sure that your brakes feel stable, safe, and secure. If something has happened recently, such as draining your brake fluid, they may have gone soft, and you'll feel that they suddenly clamp in all the way very easily. If that does happen, it's very rare. Make sure you take it to a local servicing shop to get that sorted out. Finally, do just a general once-over. Make sure that your pedals are working, make sure that your battery is safely secured inside, that your battery door is locked, that everything is tight on here. If you feel something is wobbly, again, you can take it to a service center to be tightened up, or if you have technical knack, go ahead, grab a ratchet, just tighten everything down. Motorcycles do vibrate a lot, and so we always want to make sure that everything is tight and spick and span. Now, finally, safety piece number one, always wear a helmet. Please always wear a DOT approved helmet or better. Better yet, something that is approved by the ECE as well. It's a higher standard of helmet, a higher standard of safety. The Beachman is an e-bike, but it's definitely more than a bicycle, and we want to make sure that you're going to be safe in the event of a collision. So, I'm going to put my helmet on. I usually wear a full face helmet to guarantee full protection of my head. For the purpose of this video, so you can understand me better, I've grabbed one of our Builtwell Bonanza open face helmets here. I'm going to hop on my bike. I'm going to roll forward to get off the midstand. Pick it up just to make sure that it is all the way. Take my key, insert it into the bike, and with my kill switch on, I'll test my throttle, check my brakes, put one foot up, turn off the kill switch, test out my horn, make sure it's all good. Sure is. And now I'm going to gently pull the accelerator until I feel the bike move. Now if you feel uncomfortable, you can always just put down your foot, let go of the accelerator, or grab the brakes. On a Beachman, when you apply the brake, the motor will stop. So if you'll see here, if I have my left brake engaged and I pull the throttle, nothing happens. Once I let go, it'll start to move. So when you're comfortable, once again, you're going to put one foot up. Make sure that you're clear of the pedals if you're not using them. You're going to get your eyes on the road, and when you're comfortable, you're going to pull that throttle and you're going to peel off. Back, had a good ride. I'll show you on this side to use the kickstand, which is a bit easier. Just flop it down. Make sure that you have that kill switch engaged. Hop off your bike. Pull out the key and you're ready to go. Cheers.